Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We want to welcome you on behalf of the World Banana Forum, a multi-stakeholder platform hosted within the Markets and Trade Division of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, which brings together over 60 organizations engaged in global value chains of banana to build a more sustainable and resilient agri-food banana sector. We're very pleased to have you for this new technical exchange organized by the World Banana Forum, entitled Integrated Solutions for Plant Health in Banana Production Systems, which has been organized under the Tier 4 Global Network, a global FAO platform that aims to promote knowledge sharing and collaboration in combating disease and pest pressures affecting banana production and trade, with the main focus on Tier 4, but not exclusively. In fact, upon request from different members of the World Banana Forum, we've been expanding our reach, expanding our scope to cover other banana diseases and pests, including Sigatoka, Moko, nematodes, insects, and much more. And so today we're joined by a panel of 6 experts representing different constituencies and working with different banana producing countries around the globe. We will share their perspective on the challenges related to disease and pest control management affecting banana production and trade, and also showcase some innovative strategies, control methods, management approaches, such as integrated pest management, but also digital tools and platforms, biological control, and agroecology. So I think we can move to the next slide, Mateus. So before laying down the agenda, just some rules that we usually try to abide by in our meetings and webinars. We kindly ask you to turn off your microphone when you're not speaking. Please know that some interventions will be provided in Spanish. Hence, we have professional interpretation in English and Spanish, which is available at the lower tab of your screen. And the meeting will be recorded, and the recorded will be made available, but will be also used for internal reporting purposes for the redaction of the report. And should you have any questions for the panelists, we kindly ask you to use the Q&A box, which is also located at the bottom of your screen. And panelists will be able to directly respond to your questions. And we'll also, depending on how we do on time, have 2 small dedicated sessions for Q&A. So without further ado, let's move to the agenda. So we have a pretty packed agenda. We'll have opening remarks delivered by the Secretary of the World Banana Forum, Victor Prada. And then we'll have 2 sets of 3 panelists, starting with Sherman Chavez from the Filipino Banana Growers and Exporters Association on integrated pest management strategies for commercial banana production, followed by Dr. Peng from the Chinese Academy of Tropical Agricultural Sciences, that will share with us some insights about CATAS research on drone technology and biological control. And lastly, for this first set of presentation, we'll also have a presentation from Compagnie Fruitiere about their digital platform to support decision-making in banana plantations. Then we'll have a quick Q&A, followed by the second set of presentations. We're very pleased to welcome Edgar Montenegro from Mixa, a company specialized in biological control for the banana industry, that will share some of its research, followed by the experience of Gustavo Gandini working with Banelino, a cooperative of smallholder farmers in the Dominican Republic, on agroecology and organic practices. And last but not least, we'll have the presentation from Michael Severaj from the Alliance of Bioversity International and CATAS on artificial intelligence for early detection of diseases in bananas. And we'll conclude with the final Q&A session. So this is the agenda for today. We're very happy to have a good number of participants. And I'll now pass the floor to the Secretary of the World Banana Forum, Victor.
Thank you very much, Adriele and Mateus, for the coordination of this webinar. Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. Thanks for joining us today. Our discussion comes at a strategic moment for the global banana sector. Pests and diseases such as Fusarium tropical race 4, Moko, Sigatoka, Banchitop, nematodes are not only agricultural challenges, they directly affect livelihoods, trade, and economic stability of producing countries. Climate change and expanding global trade are intensifying these pressures, particularly for smallholders who are already operating with limited resources. It is increasingly clear that traditional agrochemical dependent approaches are no longer sustainable. Resistance, regulatory restrictions, and environmental concerns require a shift in how the sector manages crop health. At the same time, we see important opportunities: precision agriculture, biological control, integrated pest management, and other innovations are proving that it is possible to reduce chemical dependence while strengthening resilience and maintaining productivity. Today's webinar brings together members of the World Banana Forum, allies that we have in the industry, from producers, researchers, the private sector, and technology developers in a much needed multi-stakeholder space. Adriele mentioned before that the World Banana Forum is a permanent platform of assembly. It's a multi-stakeholder platform. Our aim is not only to showcase innovative practices, but it's also to reinforce cooperation and commitment across the value chain. Addressing these challenges requires coordinated action, informed dialogue, and shared responsibility at national, regional, and global levels. Again, thank you very much for your engagement, cooperation, and leadership. I really look forward to an insightful and forward-looking discussion. Thank you very much, Adriele. Back to you, Mateus.
Thank you, Victor, for these preliminary remarks and for setting the scene. I think we can now move without further ado to our first speaker of the day, Mr. Sherman Chavez, General Manager in Research and Development at Unifrutti Group, a key member of the Filipino Banana Growers and Exporters Association, the country's leading association representing major exporting companies, which account for the bulk of Filipino banana exports worldwide. And today, Mr. Chavez will present integrated pest management strategies for commercial banana production. The floor is yours.
All right. Let me just... All right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. I'm happy to be invited as one of the panelists for this event. I'm here to present about the integrated pest management strategies for commercial banana production. So actually, I'm representing Unifrutti Tropical Philippines Incorporated. This is a member company of PBGEA, Filipino Banana Growers and Exporters Association. So under Unifrutti, we have several countries wherein we produce other crops. We have Chile, we have South Africa, Italy, Peru, and Japan. And of course, in the Philippines, we have our Cavendish banana operation. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so of course, Cavendish banana has always been an important crop in the Philippines. It's one of the most traded agricultural commodity. We have more than 20 million tons per annum produced. And of course, majority of these are exported globally. And aside from that, it's the most nutritious, cheap, and readily available fruit in the market. So next slide, please. So why do we focus our resources in the Philippines, for example, in experience for Philippine banana? In the last 2023, fresh Cavendish banana has been the top export commodity of the Philippines. Before it was coconut, now it has been overtaken by Cavendish banana from January to December of 2023. So all the more that the government now has focused its interest and resources to supporting the berry industry that brings along job opportunities and income for the government. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so it's a very important industry that brings about income for the government. Last 2019, we have around $1.95 billion in revenue. Though there was ups and downs in the industry, if you can see from the small graph that's presented on the screen, since 2012, there has been some up and down in the production, and we have this highest production in 2019. Though after that, we experience in between La Nina, El Nino, and of course the resurgence of typhoons in the southern part of the Philippines. And in the year 2022, fortunately, the Philippines placed second, just behind Ecuador in terms of the highest volume of exported bananas globally. Okay, next slide, please. So all the more that, we have to protect the industry. So just like what Victor mentioned a while ago, we cannot solely rely on the chemical method of controlling pests and diseases due to several, factors that we have to consider. So in terms of using IPM as one of the key solution to addressing pests and diseases in the plantations, there are three basic principles to consider in integrating this kind of methods in the plantation. Of course, it has to be cost-effective, and then environmentally sound, and should be always consider human health at every step of the supply chain. So in integrating IPM in the plantation, we can go with several methods. We can go biological, we can include cultural practices, judicious use of chemicals, and of course, that's the last resort, and it should be every step of the production and the post-production processes. Next slide, please. Okay, so in every step of the operation, we have to prepare something. In terms of the Philippine experience, we have designed several practical and basic approaches to design to manage and control different insect pests and diseases that operates in the plantation. We can start in the nursery operation, for example, seedling care in the shade house. So what we are doing actually is, once the seedlings are in the shade house, we can apply Bacillus and or Trichoderma-based products. These are organisms that can, directly antagonize Fusarium number 1. They can compete with resources, and of course, it could also include the strengthening the plant's own systemic resistance against these pathogens. And aside from that, we have shown in several trials in the Philippines that they can also promote overall plant growth, making the seedlings more resilient when you have already planted it in the field. Next slide, please. After the seedlings have been planted in the field, now we have to deal with the establishment, plant care. So aside from the usual chemical applications that we can go about, number one operation that we have to consider to address the day-to-day operations in terms of insect and pest management is the stem and mat application using botanical-based insecticide. We have, for example, azadirachtin as one. We also apply some mineral oil, detergents, and kaolin clay to manage insects like mealybugs, scale insects, aphids, and scarring weevil. If you can see from the picture, that's a basic operation that we do in the plantation on a regular basis to address this important insect pest. So aside from that, on established plants, we also apply on a periodic or quarterly basis trichoderma-based product, tea tree oil, sometimes Burbity, to protect the plants against the advent of Fusarium wilt in the field. Slide, please. Okay. In terms of insect pests, when the seedling has been established or planted in the field, there are instances that we have actually experienced the attack of corn weevil. What the plantation does is to practically provide traps every 1 to 2 meters. So this is one method to monitor the population of the corn weevil, and at the same time, it can also tend to control or manage the population. All you have to do is place the trap at every interval and then collect it after 4 days and then eliminate the collected corn weevil. That's a very practical approach in some of the areas that we have wherein we have high infestation of corn weevil. Slide, please. Another control that we can do whenever we are faced with banana corn weevil is we can spray the stem and mat with Biberia bassiana to manage corn weevil. If you can see from the pictures, this is one very effective way to manage the population of the corn weevil. In as low as 5 days up to 15 days, you can see the growth of the fungi on the exoskeleton of the weevil, and then from there on you can see elimination of the concerned pest afterwards. Slide, please. In terms of other insect pests also, due to the concern on the climate change that had been happening, of course, also in the Philippines, there are some resurging pests that we can actually see that increase in population. So, for example, you can see in the pictures some lepidopterans. These are the slug caterpillar and the leaf folders, which can damage the leaf of the banana. So, in this case, all we have to do is, aside from the usual synthetic insecticides that you can apply, of course, we ought to apply Bacillus thuringiensis, Aizawa, and Krostaki, Subaya leaf spray. Other plantations are using this as a ride-on in Sigatoka spray to more or less to be economical. No need to do some labor, extra labor in terms of spraying it manually. Slide, please. And we are all very aware of the impact of the Sigatoka in the plantations. Okay, so we all know that whenever a plantation is infected, high disease pressure, severity of this infection will lead to SGRT, or soft green ripen turning in the market. Okay, so aside from the usual fungicide spray program that we have in the plantation, we can insert some botanical-based fungicide to mitigate possible resistance. For example, application of one tea tree oil that is available in the Philippine market. And then from planting up to more or less 2 months, we, as a part of the SOP, we de-leaf and then remove the infected leaves to reduce the inoculum load in the farm. And then after that, few months prior to shooting, we surgically remove the infected or mature spot to reduce the inoculum also of the Sigatoka. And aside from that, we are regularly monitoring the sensitivity of different systemic fungicides that we apply in the field, just to make sure that what we are applying is are really still effective against our target pathogen. So those are more of the integrated way how we can manage Sigatoka in the field. Next slide, please. Okay, so another way that we can protect the fruit is through this peeping bud bug technique. This is against thrips. Okay, this is just one method to physically exclude the insect from entering the bud prior to its opening. So the method is quite easy. You just have to scout for plants which has already about 5 to 20% bud that has emerged, and then cover it with a polyethylene bag, tie it around the pseudostem, and then return after some time when the bud has already in its around 3 o'clock position, or more or less parallel to the ground, or rather perpendicular to the ground. This is a very important or effective solution that we have already implemented in the field. Number one, also why we have implemented PBB is that previously we are using bud injection. So in bud injection, you know, there is the tendency that we have detection in terms of the insecticide that we are using in the field. So through PBB, we are more or less somewhat 50% eliminating the chance of residue detection, especially in our Far East market, Korea, and in Japan. Next slide, please. So after you have enclosed the shoot or the flower with the plastic, then we can collect the male bud, chop it, and then place it in a pit. You take a pit and then you collect all the bud and then you cut it so that all the thrips will be exposed and then will be killed by the direct sunlight. This method is actually a supplemental with the method with the PBB or peeping bud bug, and of course the bud tip cutting technique to eliminate and reduce the population of thrips in the field. Next slide, please. Okay, so aside from those that I have mentioned about fruit care, we are also using traps and pheromones to address the issues on weevils, scaring weevils, corn weevils, and thrips. And this is also one way to monitor the severity of the population present in the field. Next slide, please. Okay, so after you have the bunch has been completely exposed, and you have cut the male bud, now you have to, of course, cover the bunches with polybag. In most of the practices in the Philippines, we have we cover it with the polybag, sometimes impregnated with insecticides, others are not. And then to protect it against the sun scald or direct sun damage, we are using recycled sacks to physically cover the exposed plants, especially those fruits that are near the roads or exposed directly to the sunlight. This is one very basic or practical approach to protecting the bunches against sun scald damage. Next slide, please. Okay, so aside from that, we are also applying the degradable, environment-friendly fabric. This is an untreated bag, biodegradable, breathable, and used against mealybugs and scaring weevil control. So this is basically untreated, without any insecticide impregnation, very practical approach to address mealybugs and scaring weevil in the field. Slide, please. Okay. We have also big issues on the scaring weevil, ants, and of course mealybugs. So this is one very practical approach to reduce the population. We just have to wrap around in the pseudostem tape, adhesive tapes, the normal tape that you can buy from the store. That's 2 weeks prior to final bagging to trap the presence of scattering weevil or ants that is coming out to feed on the young developing fruits. Slide, please. And of course, mealybugs, one of the quarantine pests in export market. We address this by in areas where there's a very high population of mealybugs. We use polybags with buprofene or polybag with corbata or strips. So this is actually integrated with sanitation and stem and mat spray using other botanical method of controlling the insect pest. Okay, slide please. So this is just one way that I will show you to you how a classic integrated technique works in the Philippine experience. We have managed to revive or survive one of the farm that we have previously infected with Fusarium by using water treatment system through chlorination, use of tolerant varieties, using drainage canals, prescribed dry fallows, and strict biosecurity in the field. Next slide, please. And in terms of post-harvest, we are now using water treatment system in the packing house to recirculate water for 1 week instead of before. We are changing the water every day. And as crown treatment to address crown mold and crown rot, we are using some biological base, limonene, thyme oil, and of course, Bacillus subtilis to also address crown mold and crown rot in the harvested fruit. Next slide, please. Okay, of course, in the IPM, we can also use chemical, but it should be the last resort, not the first result. And it should be applied only when necessary. You have to rotate the pesticide. And of course, you have to observe in the label the PHI. And of course, you have to regularly monitor the MRL of every active ingredient that is being used for market export compliance. Slide, please. Okay, that's about it. And thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chavez, for the very interesting presentation. I see lots of questions in the Q&A box, I think directed at you for seeking clarification on certain points. Thank you for this glimpse into the Filipino banana industry and the many, many methods being used for the many, many pests affecting banana production. And we clearly see that one solution is not enough. We need to implement all that's available to us, cultural, biological control with fungi, bacteria, and judicious use of chemicals when necessary, and respecting thresholds and other considerations. I'd like to pass the floor to Dr. Jun Peng, who serves as the senior scientist and professor at the Environment and Plant Protection Institute of the Chinese Academy of Tropical Agricultural Sciences, also known as CATAS. Today's presentation will focus on banana pest and disease control with drones and biocontrol agents. So the floor is yours, Mr. Peng.
Pest and disease control with drones and biocontrol agents. I'm highly appreciative for Professor Xu Xing and Dr. Chen Yufeng for data supporting. My report will follow these contents. First is the list of major pests and disease of the bananas. As we know, the bananas has the dense foliage and rapid growth cycle. So banana susceptible to pests and disease stresses such as the Fusarium, the fungi, bacteria, nematode, virus, and other pests. So the need for drones in banana plantations. The banana plantations face the challenges. 1, dense canopies. 2, rapid growth and harvest cycles. Pest and disease pressure, labor shortage, and high costs. 5, environmental concerns. The drones engineering to address the banana's need, offering a suite of features that enhance efficiency, precision, and sustainability. So the feature of zones: 1. Precision spraying for canopy coverage. 2. Obstacle avoidance and autonomous navigation. 3. Multiple spectral imaging for early detections such as Black Sigatoka and Palma disease. 4. Adaptability to tropical terrain such as flying bananas, lifting and transporting banana in rural plantation. 5. Environmental and economical benefit. This is a video show the flying bananas. The drone lifting and transport banana in rural plantations. And the second video is show the drone compared with the ground air assisted sprayer. We can see that the drone have the perfect performance. So drone as a cut agent agricultural tool applied in bananas, but the unmanned aerial vehicle solve the banana faced problem with 2 improvements. First is spraying equipment or devices. The second is flying parameters. So the detail is the banana suitable equipment was developed. This slide shows the key structure optimization of aviation double optimization centrifugal nozzle. This picture shows the tooth number and tooth shape of the optimization disk of the double or of these devices. This picture shows the key structure of the nozzle, and this is a partial enlarged display image of the optimization discs with different tooth number and tooth shape. The second improvement is the flying parameters. This slide shows an experimental design of the banana plantation spray site, and this is a sampling point layout. So we know the drone have the 3 parameters: the flight height, flight velocity, and the lateral flow rate. But for the banana, the droplet deposition in banana canopy has 4 factors: density, uniformity, penetration, and coverage. So the test was arranged by an orthogonal test between drones, 3 factors, and interactive verification of 4 facts of banana canopy to optimize the spraying parameters and get the best drop deposition on the banana canopy. This slide shows we test and optimization the results in the field, so we can get the quickly review. Yeah, quickly review this. Yeah. So we can do it in the field over the light. So, okay. This is a detailed data analysis for the droplets deposition density. We find the fly height was 4 meters and the droplet size of 100 micrometer maybe get the best performance. And the second, the detailed data analysis for droplet deposition uniformity. We can find the fly height was 4 meters and the drop size was 150 micrometer, get the best performance. And the third, data analysis for droplet deposition penetration. When the spray height was 4 meters and the droplet size was 100 micrometer, it can ensure that spray droplets are effectively deposited on the back of the blade, and there is also good deposition on the front. This is the zone of banana plantation and general solutions for different banana stages. This is time and the growth stage, the pest and the disease targets, pesticide, and this spray parameters. Yeah. So The next concern is pesticide residue control. We know the pesticide residue controlling is a key link in ensuring food biosafety and one of the important tasks of our banana industry. So this table shows information on pesticide prone to exceeding standards and the maximum residue limits in chemical control of banana disease and pest. This table shows pesticide prohibited in some special crops, and this slide shows the pesticide totally prohibited in banana industry. And the next is Fusarium wilt biocontrol. Now, the banana industry have developed the 5-in-1 integrated prevention and controlling technology system for banana wilt disease. We have the 5 main strategies. First is prerequisite soil pathogen detection and risk assessment, and the foundation strategy is soil acidification improvements and regulation. The core strategy is resistant varieties released and widely used in South Thailand, and the supplementary strategy is biocontrol agents. And finally is field management is less or low tier cultivations. So I have a brief introduction of every stages. First, we have established a rapid and visualized detection technology for banana Fusarium wilt. And second, the foundation strategy. We can find the soil acidification and the imbalance of calcium and magnesium elements in soil are the many factors contributing to the aggravation of the banana Fusarium wilt disease. So it's very important to soil acidification regulation and improvement. And the core strategy is resistant varieties. Until now, over 40 official authorized disease resistant varieties have been released and widely application in South Thailand, effective controlling the spread of the Fusarium wilt in the field. This is Baodao banana, Nantianhuang banana, and Guijiang number 9. All this is resistant varieties. And the supplementary is biocontrol agents from theory to biocontrol application. The discovery of the streptomyces and other antagonistic bacteria destroy the mitochondrial structure of the pathogens, inhibit pathogen infection, and can recruit other beneficial bacteria to work together in inhibiting the pathogens. So this slide shows the whole workflow, how to discover and elucidate the mechanism of antagonistic microorganisms. First, isolated and preservation microstrains and discovery antagonistic bacterial strains. Then identified the bioagent species. Finally, is the highly active monomeric compound and the authorized patent. The detail. First, a total of over 6,000 microbial strains in our library. And step 2, analysis antifungal mechanisms. The crude extracts of culture of antagonistic microorganisms seriously destroy cell structure of TR4 and inhibited mycelial growth and spore generation in the PDA plant. Step 3, isolated and characterization the antifungal compound. After the genome sequencing of the candidate strains, antifungal activity test and spore germination made firstly, and then observation of hyphae and spore morphology after treatment, identification of active compound monomers. Finally, step 3, the streptomyces reassemble the banana rhizosphere microbes community, we can find the Bacillus is the harbor of the network and plays an important role in network regulations. Until now, over 200 strains of Bacillus were isolated. Most of them had antagonistic activities. Step 5, the streptomyces, reducing the instance of Fusarium blood wilt in the field. Rhizosphere microbiome analysis revealed that disease-resistant core microorganisms recreated by Bacillus. All the bacterial resources strains can promote the growth of banana and enhance the TR4 resistance. The step 7 developed bioorganic fertilizer and feasible secondary fermentation. First, this show developed a series of special fertilizers for banana to improve manufacturing technology of alkaline fertilizers. This is the products shown in this picture. The two pictures show the field secondary fermentation fertilizer spray into the field directly with water spray belt. And so we conducted that blood wilt could be prevented as well as controlled. We developed the 5-in-1 control system can reduce chemical fertilizer by 30%. Input-output ratio of chemical fertilizer increased 15% and the increased production 12%. This is a special case. We can find a streptomyces secreted fluorescein B6 have a dual function against TR4. The fluorescein B6 secreted by streptomyces inhibit TR4 mycelius growth directly and can inhibit the secretion of mycotoxin from TR4. Secondly, the fluorescein B6 could positively regulate the changes in the structure of the banana rhizosphere microcommunity. So this slide shows the prospects of the exploration of biocontrol bacterial resources, mechanism analysis, and product development. This is a research approach. First, construction of genomic metabolic model for biocontrol agents. And second, integration of multi-high throughput sorting technologies for targeted sorting of biocontrol agents. Finally, is a bottom-up design of synthetic microbial communities for targeted products. We want to achieve get the TR4 targeted biocontrol resources, exploration mechanisms, analysis, and new product creation. Finally, we are highly appreciate Professor Xie Jiahui, the chief scientist of China Agricultural Research System of banana. Okay, let's all thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Peng, for this presentation and to show us some of the advanced research that CATAS is doing on drone technology, looking at different parameters to improve the penetration under the canopy, the deposition, the coverage, the uniformity of the applications with drones, and also for giving us an overview of the 5-into-1 integrated approach of CATAS for banana, for Fusarium wilt TR4. Very interesting. I think in the interest of time, I'd like to give the floor now to the next two panelists. I'm very pleased to welcome Lou Dupont de Dinechin, product owner and agronomic engineer at Farms Digital, the technological division of Compagnie Fruitiere, Africa's largest banana exporter, together with Guillaume Lecoq, production assistant at Compagnie Fruitiere and active user of Farms. Farms Digital develops and deploys integrated digital tools to support field data collection and operational decision-making in tropical banana production. And today, both speakers will discuss digital systems for pest surveillance and decision-making in banana farms. Thank you for being with us. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for the introduction. I don't even have to do it myself, so we can just go into the next slide. And I will explain to you how we are gonna work on this presentation. So the method that we are using in our software technology comes from a French research institute that is called the CIRAD. From, I think most of you already know this institute. So first, Guillaume Lecoq, who is working in the production service of the Compagnie Fruitiere, will introduce the biological indicators that the CIRAD system is monitoring, and then how we are calculating those indicators. And then only we will see how the farm solution connects, is a connected system that will allow the user to get easily all these indicators together, calculate automatically and propose reports to the user to, well, increase the analysis, the possibility of analysis of the Sigatoka infestation level on its plantation. So if you can go to the next slide, and I'm leaving Guillaume to explain first the biological indicators of the CIRAD.
Yes, thank you, Lou, and good morning and good afternoon to everybody. So, as we said, in farms we use the CIRAD method to do the follow-up of Sigatoka into the field, and this method is will help us to do the good treatment at the good moment. It's the running treatment method, and in order to make some decision about Sigatoka, the CIRAD method will follow 5 biological indicators. Some of them are calculated, and the other one are a bit general. And you can see in this first slide 2 pictures. The first one is a chart plot. In this graph, you can follow week per week the evolution of all the biological indicators calculated with CIRAD method. And it's with this graph that we can make decision on Sigatoka. You also have like a picture each week, which is represented in the second pictures. For each field, you can have an idea of the level of the Sigatoka, of the level of Sigatoka by this little table. So the biological indicators which are followed are, there is first of all the foliar emission rhythm. It will permit us to know the speed of growth of each banana trees and the speed of growth of Sigatoka too. Then you have evolution of disease, which is the main contribution of the CIRAD system. It's a calculation of the stage of Sigatoka into the field, and it will help us to really understand how, at which level is the Sigatoka, and to see it in advance. We are not here to wait the coming of Sigatoka. With the evolution disease, we are able to tell at this moment we need to do a treatment far in advance in order to avoid an explosion of the Sigatoka, of the disease. And the other one are the other biological indicators are more classical. You have the number of leaves at flowerings, number of leaves at harvest, youngest necrotic leaf, youngest leaf affected by Sigatoka, and the density of lesion. So we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So in this method, we will work with a group of plots of 30 hectares. And you can see, you have the picture, which is a picture from farms. You can see groups of plots with same colors. So this is how group of plots we use for observation. The two first indicators, which are the number of leaves at flowering and the number of leaves at harvest, are calculated by doing the average of 10 banana trees. So a sample of 10 banana trees at flowering level, we do the average of the numbers of leaves of each banana trees at flowering levels and the same at harvest levels. It will help us to have a general idea of plots vigor. We can go to the next slide, please. Then, in each group of plots, which are named observation posts, we follow especially more precisely 10 banana trees in order to follow the early stage, of the Sigatoka, of the disease. First of all, so you can see on the pictures, all the 10 banana trees are pointed on the map. So it's from farms, it's interesting. And here we will measure the youngest necrotic leaf, which is the average of whole youngest necrotic leaf rank for the 10 banana trees of each post, of each observation post. And we have also the youngest leaf affected by Sigatoka. It's the same system. So on these 10 banana trees, we observe the youngest leaf affected, and the average will give us the average of the rank of each youngest leaf will give us the youngest leaf affected of the plot and of the observation post. We can go to the next. Then, indeed, we need to check the speed of growth of Sigatoka. And to help us in this mission, we will calculate the foliar emission rhythm, which is the rate of leaf emission. It's the difference between the number of leaves on the current week and the past week. And so that we can measure the growth rate of a banana tree, and we can compare the progress of Sigatoka. And to make a quick measure of Sigatoka, we will use the evolution of disease. We can go to the next indicator. So next slide, please. So this is the real contribution of the CERAD method. We go more, we are more precise. We go more precisely into the Sigatoka evolution. So on each of the 10 banana trees of each observation post, we can follow for the leaf of rank 2, 3, and 4. So the youngest, most of the youngest leaves of each banana tree, we will follow two things, two factors. First of all, the stage of Sigatoka, and we will just register the highest stage of lesion observed in a leaf. So yes, the stage of lesion are the classic one, the classical 6 stages of lesion, and we take the highest for each leaf of rank 1, 2, and 3 for each of the 10 banana trees. And then we will check also the density of all lesion on the leaf in order to have an idea of the stage of Sigatoka, but also the spreading of Sigatoka. We can go to the next, please. With all this observation, this precise observation of on each observation post, we can make the calculation of the evolution of disease. And the evolution of disease will show us the real stage of progress of Sigatoka in our fields. So this is, we approximate it with whole observation post. To calculate the growth evolution of disease, we use a table, like you can see here. See it? We have a coefficient of for each rank of leaf and each stage of Sigatoka, stage of lesion observed into on the leaves. We can go to the next, please. So by this precise observation and with this calculation, we are able to give like a notation of the field. How we will do that? We will, for each leaf of each rank, you have, first of all, a number between 1 and 6, which is the highest level of Sigatoka lesion on the leaf of the banana tree, and plus or minus, it's a sign for the density of lesion. And we have a coefficient for each. And you can see here, it's a picture from farms. You have all the bananas, the banana trees of each observation post, and you can make the notation of the stage of lesion and the density. And by multiplying the number of stage with a coefficient and do and to sum up, you can have an idea of the evolution. Of the disease, the evolution of disease, the famous AD. So this, you can have each week a picture of the level of Sigatoka into your field, even if you cannot see it right now. Even if you didn't see, even if you don't see any necrotic leaf into the field, and this is very interesting to do a treatment in advance to avoid to wait the increase of Sigatoka level and to see at the very beginning how the Sigatoka is evolving into the field. So this is the serious method that we used in Compagnie Fruitiere, and this is the same that we used in farms. And farms will help us to gather all the information and to do a faster calculation and follow up. I will give the presentation to Lou now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you for presenting the CIRAD method. As you can see, as you probably have understood, the most important thing in the CIRAD method is the evolution of disease. And there are a lot of calculations, a lot of indicators to get. So the ideas of Forms Digital as a company and Forms as a software is to make the life of the producer easier. So what we are doing specifically in the application that is designed for Sigatoka is we're going to help the producer to decide the observation post, to collect the data more easily, send them to a cloud, and then to have the reports and the calculation done automatically so that he doesn't have to do anything, just to see at the end the maps and the evolution of disease on graphs that are available for him. So all of the calculations behind that are the CIRAD calculations, but we are bringing the aspect of having a geolocated data that is automated and that it's going to be calculated by the software, so that the producer himself just has to look at his computer and see where he's at with the infestation level of the Sigatoka. We just want to make his life easier. So as you can see on the screen, you have the observation posts that you can decide directly on the website which are the plots that are going to belong to which observation plots. Then when you are going into the field, the operators is going to take the information in front of a plant, and the geolocation of this plant will be registered thanks to the mobile that he has, that you can see on the screen, and that is equipped with a GPS, of course. And so you can see on the map, you will have the banana trees exactly a point, exactly where they are located. What you see on the right is the form that the operator has to fill, and you don't really have to get closer, because this is exactly all the indicators that have been described by Guillaume, that the operator has to enter one by one on the form that is on the mobile screen. Then at the end of the day, this operator comes back to the office and he exports the data to the cloud. If we can please go to the next slide. So the first thing that we are giving to the user is all the data, the indicators, just on graphs. No calculation, but just you can see the data. It's immediately on the screen as soon as you exported the data. It is shared, so everybody who has access to the website can see the data. Reliable, because you know that it has been taken in front of the tree, because if it's not in front of the tree, the system is just going to refuse to take the information. And we are cross-referencing that with the rainfall data, as we're going to see then on the next screen, just before we go to the next slide. On the graph that you have here, you have the evolution of the foliar emission. You have then a graph with the number of leaves at harvest. You can see if you have a lot of leaves at the harvest, it's of course a better sign that if you have fewer. So you have visual indicators in the color in the graph that will help you to immediately see if you have an issue in your plantation. And the last screen that you see is the number of lost leaves. That is as well an indicator to see if you have an issue. It's really visualizing immediately if you have problems. If you can please go to the next slide. We are still here on the type of graph that you're going to see directly the indicators before any calculation. I wanted to show you on the histogram here that you will have your data cross-reference with the rainfall, because we are proposing to connect your weather station, if it is connected, to our system. And you can also enter the data manually, the weather data manually, so that you can see it on the graph that are showing the evolution of the Sigatoka disease, because we know that it's going to change the decisions that are taken by the agronomy manager. If you can please go to the next one. Now to enter in a little bit more of details, the calculation that has been explained by Guillaume earlier, we are doing it automatically on the website, and we are going to show all the specific results. But what we also provide is visual maps to see immediately where you're going to have hotspots of infestation. this will allow you to immediately see if you have to go in further details into the website, because every observation post, you're going to have every data on the website. So you can see this map, see that the observation post that you have, for example, on the left, middle left, is very red. Immediately go and see what's going on those 30 hectares. Please, if we can continue. So that is, for me, the final graph of our website, because it is where you're going to see every indicator and calculated indicator that has been described, please 2 minutes, that has been described by Guillaume, and the rainfall. And just after the graph, you can see the treatments that has been done or that will be done, because you can enter it in advance with the detail of the inputs, so the doses, if there is all the frequency, and the foliar emission rhythm that you have associated to this week. This is what our clients, or what the Compagnie Fruitiere, which has designed this solution, is using to really follow and, as Guillaume said earlier, follow and prevent the evolution of the Sigatoka disease. By entering the treatments after and before you're doing them, you can really see the effects of them on the evolution of disease. If you can please go to the next one, we'll see the final thing we wanted to share. So that is when you enter your treatments, every type of information that you can put in the website. So the volume, the type of treatments, the aircraft type. This, without entering in the details, is to show you that every information that you think you want to have on the website will be, we are able to enter it, because for now, the solution, which is not IA and which is not about doing the forecasts of it, is more like helping and getting all the data that you want to have to show you the calculation and allow you humanly to forecast what you want to do as in terms of treatments. So I think that we are done. If I'm not wrong, the next slide will be the, oh yes, almost done. So those graphs are graphs that the Compagnie Fruitiere, for example, is doing with Click, which is a business intelligence system. And we wanted to show you that as well, because it shows that you can take data from farms, the system, to use them in other business intelligence system. So that the data is not just within farms, but can be shared, can be exported, can be put in other systems. The idea really is to make the life easier and the data more accessible. Okay, so that will be it for the Sigatoka system. And just so you know, and it can be discussed in other meetings if some people are interested, the farm system is also doing kind of the same help for the weevil infestation, for the plants that are weak and that have to be followed for their treatment or anything, and also going into an intra-plot level of the yield of each plot. So those are other things that we are doing. And yes, I'm coming. Those are other things that we are doing, and that can be discussed later in other meetings. We'll give you, I guess, all the details. So as you have seen, I am called and I will have to go. So if there is questions, maybe right now for farms will be the best time, and then if not, we'll put all of our detail information.
Thank you, Guillaume. Thank you, Lou, for this interesting presentation on Farm's platform, showing some of the underlying calculations and indicators from CIRAD and all the automation connection with geodata and the different use that can be derived from this platform for monitoring of Black Sigatoka, and also in a preventive way. We were supposed to have a Q&A session, but we're running a bit late in time. So I think for the interest of also the interpreter, we will, I think, move directly to our fourth panelist. In case the public has questions for Farms Digital, you can drop them in the Q&A. We will also keep track of them, and we can also send them to Lou and Guillaume later on. Thank you for being with us, and we appreciate that very much. Okay, so without further ado, let's move to the next presentation. I'd like to introduce Edgar Montenegro, General Manager of Mixa, a company specialized in the development and production of biocontrol agents for tropical crops, with a focus on banana. And today we'll present the topic of biological control, enhancing microbial and ecological defenses against banana pest and disease. So the floor is yours. You have interpretation available, remember, the public. So yeah, the floor is yours, Edgar.
Muchas gracias. Buenos días a todos. Es para mí un honor participar en este foro donde discutimos soluciones para los retos fitosanitarios que afectan la sostenibilidad del cultivo de banano. Uno de los principales desafíos de este cultivo es la sigatoka negra, causada por Pseudocercospora afigensis. Sabemos que es un patógeno que compromete la fotosíntesis y la productividad del banano. Actualmente el control depende en gran medida de fungicidas sistémicos y protectantes como mancozeb, aplicados de manera continua. Y este enfoque, aunque es efectivo, genera presión de selección sobre el patógeno y riesgos de resistencia y efectos colaterales sobre la fisiología de la planta y obviamente el ecosistema. En respuesta a esto, hemos desarrollado una tecnología basada en una cepa bacteriana que hemos caracterizado y optimizado mediante la evolución dirigida para incrementar su capacidad de colonización y producción de metabolitos antifúngicos. Y esta bacteria actúa como un agente biológico preventivo, reduciendo la incidencia de sigatoka y complementando los programas convencionales de manejo integrado. Nuestro objetivo es, obviamente, ofrecer una herramienta que disminuya la dependencia de químicos, que mitigue el impacto ambiental y contribuya a la resiliencia del sistema productivo que hoy en día tenemos. Pues hoy compartiré los fundamentos científicos y los resultados experimentales y las perspectivas de implementación industrial de esta innovación. Siguiente. Nosotros desarrollamos Bacillus afensis RGM 2450. Es hasta ahora la única cepa comprobada para el control efectivo de sigatoka, ya durante 3 años. Estudiamos su genoma y pues sí presenta, aparte de una actividad bioestimulante, un control de fitopatógenos. Siguiente. Perdón. Ya. Para esto generamos ya un paper donde evaluamos el potencial de bioestimulación y efecto antagónico ante fitopatógenos de esta bacteria, Bacillus afensis. Y ella está protegida en 34 países del mundo para proceso de patente de su uso para el control de sigatoka y como bioestimulante. Este es parte del equipo que desarrolló los estudios sobre sigatoka, todos dirigidos por el ingeniero Ignacio Viteri, quien es el director de Mixa. y a todo el grupo de gente participamos desde a nivel de laboratorio, pruebas in vitro, hasta a nivel de campo para poder desarrollar esta tecnología. Voy a presentarles las fases de la investigación y los resultados obtenidos. El objetivo general de esta investigación fue pues, evaluar el efecto de Bacillus safensis RGM2450 sobre la enfermedad Sigatoka negra causada por Pseudocercospora figensis en el cultivo banano y plátano. Y específicamente, como en los objetivos específicos, determinar el progreso de la enfermedad por medio del muestreo de la hoja más joven con síntomas, YLI. Siguiente. En las fases de investigación, en la primera fase, en 2021-2022, la fase primera de desarrollo se realizó en el cultivo de banano en la costa sur de Guatemala, en donde lo hicimos a través de drone versus el efecto de Mancozeb. El objetivo era evaluar durante un año completo el desarrollo de la enfermedad a través de la escala ya conocida y como ustedes pueden observar a través de un año el comportamiento de la bacteria Bacillus safensis versus Mancozeb fue muy similar al desarrollo de la enfermedad controlada a través de Mancozeb como protectante. Entonces, en esta primera etapa, Bacillus safensis demostró que sí es una alternativa para el control de Sigatoka, tanto en programas convencionales como también en programas orgánicos. Luego pasamos a la fase 2 de investigación, fue en el 2022, esto ya fue un desarrollo semi-comercial en plátano, ya lo hicimos a través de aplicaciones aéreas con avión, incrementamos de 1 hectárea a 92.5 en nuestra segunda fase, siempre evaluamos la bacteria versus Mancozeb, con el objetivo de pegarnos a la realidad de lo que hoy en día se utiliza en la mayoría de cultivos convencionales y lo medimos en 3 etapas en plantas recién paridas, donde como pueden observar en la gráfica de arriba, donde está Bacillus safensis, el comportamiento de Sigatoka fue muy similar al de la gráfica de abajo, donde está Mancozeb, respecto al número de hojas totales y la hoja más joven en donde se presentó la infección por Sigatoka. Luego medimos a 49 días, donde establecimos un umbral de tolerancia establecido en la hoja número 10. La bacteria, en la gráfica de arriba, Bacillus safensis, se comportó muy similar a el efecto producido por Mancozeb, como ustedes pueden observar en la gráfica de abajo, en cantidad de hojas totales versus la hoja más joven infectada por Sigatoka fueron muy similares y posteriormente a los 77 días. Como pueden observar, los eventos o las semanas en donde estuvimos por debajo del umbral de tolerancia fueron muy similares, tanto en Bacillus safensis como en Mancozeb. Esto nos llevó a nuestra tercera fase de investigación, año 2023-2024, el desarrollo ya semicomercial, tanto en banano como en plátano. Lo hicimos en 68 hectáreas de banano y 327 de plátano, siempre Mancozeb versus Bacillus safensis. Y el comportamiento fue mucho mejor que en las investigaciones anteriores. Aquí ya desarrollamos una concentración mayor de las bacterias contenidas en la formulación. Aún esta formulación era en polvo. Y como pueden observar, en la línea azul es el comportamiento de Mancozeb a lo largo de un año aplicado a través del avión. Y la línea verde es Bacillus safensis, aplicado también a través del avión. Y como pueden observar, el comportamiento fue muy similar a Mancozeb. El porcentaje de severidad de Sigatoka no tuvo diferencias significativas en Mancozeb y en Bacillus safensis. En cuanto al control preventivo de Sigatoka, tanto en plantas recién paridas a 49 días y posteriormente a 77 días. Ahora estamos en una última fase, recién terminada hace un par de semanas, en donde terminamos nuestra última formulación de las bacterias para mejorar la penetración de la bacteria en el mesófilo de la hoja y lograr un mejor efecto de control. Estamos en nuestra fase 4 en este año haciendo microtest. Esto ya lleva un buen avance. En el microtest, pues establecimos en la misma hoja el tratamiento y los testigos absolutos, en donde cubrimos con una pantalla vinílica el resto de la hoja para evitar que el producto tenga contacto en el resto de la hoja. Únicamente lo aplicamos dentro del área de 10 por 10, donde será la parcela dentro de la misma hoja. Y usamos la escala de Stover de severidad para ir midiendo semana tras semana la evolución de la Sigatoka en la hoja, tanto en el tratamiento como en el testigo absoluto contenidos dentro de la misma hoja. Lo evaluamos en la hoja 1, 2, 3 y hoja 5, y como pueden observar en la semana 1 se comportaron similares el testigo absoluto y Bacillus safensis, más en la semana 2 el testigo absoluto ya en la hoja 3 manifiesta un grado 2 de Sigatoka, Bacillus safensis se mantiene en grado 1. Ya en la semana 3 los testigos empiezan a afectarse en hoja 2 y 3. El Bacillus safensis se mantiene muy estable, muy por debajo de grado 2. La semana 4 de igual manera. Hasta ahí ya en la semana 4 empieza a afectarse la hoja número 5, pero la 1, 2 y 3, que son las que pretendemos, en donde observamos el efecto protectante de la bacteria o lo que hace Mancozeb, logró llegar hasta la semana 5 sin ningún problema. Esto hoy en día representa una alternativa. Acá presento una gráfica más en donde cómo fue el comportamiento de la enfermedad en YLI. En la hoja 1 a su izquierda, en la esquina superior izquierda, la línea azul es el testigo absoluto, cómo evoluciona la enfermedad a lo largo de 7 semanas versus Bacillus safensis. En la línea naranja que se mantiene contenida la Sigatoka, retiene muy bien como protectante. Igual sucedió en la hoja 2 y en la 3. En la hoja 5 pues manifiesta que obviamente ya un grado de infección muy fuerte ni Mancozeb ni las bacterias son capaces de tener. Bien, algunas fotografías del efecto, que esto es muy importante, como ustedes pueden observar, a su izquierda, dentro del cuadro marcado, fue donde se aplicó Bacillus safensis. El resto de la hoja se vio totalmente afectada por la incidencia de Sigatoka, los testigos absolutos, y el testigo opuesto también se vio afectado. Esta parcela se desarrolló durante 5 semanas en un área en donde llueven 4.100 milímetros al año. La presión de Sigatoka es muy fuerte allí y por esta razón pues decidimos tomar esa área. En conclusión, acerca de Bacillus safensis contra Sigatoka, sí previene y controla similar al efecto de Mancozeb, tiene una alta eficacia comprobada, no genera resistencia, esto es muy importante, seguro para humanos, animales y medio ambiente, que es lo que buscamos acá, residuos cero y flexibilidad de uso y compatible con fungicidas sistémicos, eso es importante también. Y la tecnología, pues, es tecnología complementaria a la que hoy convencionalmente utilizamos. Y hoy en día, pues, recomendamos el uso de Bacillus safensis RGM 2450 como una alternativa para manejo integrado de Sigatoka en musáceas. Un par de mensajes, pues, ustedes sabrán que la innovación biológica no es solo una alternativa, es el camino hacia una agricultura resiliente y sostenible. Es lo que necesitamos hoy en día y de acá hacia adelante. Y sabemos que juntos, ciencia e industria, pueden transformar el manejo de enfermedades en banano y garantizar su futuro global. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Edgar. Thank you very much. Very promising results of Bacillus safensis for Black Sigatoka control, a devastating disease affecting banana production worldwide. And thank you for showing us the phased testing process from initial lab results to field trials, micro tests. Very interesting. Let's move on now to the next panelist. I'm very pleased to welcome Gustavo Gandini, Director of Abioma Department at Banelino, the Association of Ecological Bananas of the Northwest Line in Dominican Republic. And Banelino represents around 238 smallholder farmers, most of which are certified and from Dominican Republic, and it accounts for around 10% of the banana sector in the country. So today, Gustavo will present agroecological practices to reduce disease pressure in smallholder systems. Gracias, Gustavo.
Ok. Buenos días a todos y pues continuamos en español para que la balanza se vaya acomodando con el español también. Mi nombre es Gustavo Gandini, estoy en República Dominicana y pertenezco a la Asociación de Bananos Ecológicos de la línea noroeste de Banelino y voy a hablar sobre las prácticas agroecológicas que hemos implementado para reducir la presión de plagas y enfermedades en sistemas de pequeños productores. Una pequeña reseña de lo que es Banelino. Estamos ubicados en la línea noroeste de la República Dominicana. Somos aproximadamente unos 660 productores basados en una agricultura familiar con aproximadamente 750 hectáreas en producción bajo un sistema orgánico, certificado orgánico, tanto para NOP como para la Unión Europea, Fairtrade y con Global Gap, además de tener otras certificaciones como la biodinámica por Demeter. Nuestro sistema actual está basado en un sistema biodiverso y existe un modelo banano orgánico comercio justo que se está comercializando a través de Banelino. Por el tema de biodiversidad también podemos tener oferta de coco, cacao, miel, pollos, huevos, entre otras cosas. Trabajamos el reciclaje de plástico, aunque ese tema, aunque en los libros es bien interesante y bien fácil de hacer, en la práctica se complica un poco, pero pues es una realidad en la cual que tenemos y debemos seguir intentando. Tenemos biofábricas en las cuales fabricamos bioinsumos, tanto en la parte nutricional como para el manejo de plagas y enfermedades. Y muy importante para nosotros es el trabajo de género y también el trabajo enfocado a la inclusión de jóvenes, porque es la forma de darle sostenibilidad y continuidad a todo lo que estamos haciendo en la asociación. Banelino trabaja con 4 principios que se aplican en nuestra producción y vamos a decir que son principios muy básicos y necesarios y que trabajan como una mesa trabajan como una mesa de 4 patas en las cuales es necesario que las 4 estén envueltas porque si alguna de ellas no está, el sistema puede colapsar. Y estos 4 principios son suelo vivo, biodiversidad, medio ambiente y el componente humano como parte del sistema, no como el que maneja el sistema, sino como parte del sistema. Y esto es lo que hace que nuestro sistema de producción de banano orgánico, comercio justo, sea sostenible. Esta es una de nuestras parcelas actuales en el cual pues estamos involucrando todos estos componentes donde el cultivo principal pues es el banano, pero si ustedes se dan cuenta ahí ya está la plantación de coco de manera productiva, al igual que la planta de cacao, con un suelo vivo y el confort que tiene ese pequeño productor dentro de su parcela. Ahora entramos al tema que nos involucra y pues vamos a listar las principales plagas o enfermedades que pueden afectar el banano orgánico de la República Dominicana. Sigue siendo sigatoka negra la que nos afecta, la aparición del ácaro dorado del banano como plaga ya, los trips de la flor, los trips de la mancha roja, que siguen siendo componentes importantes en el tema de la fruta, aparición de bacteriosis, el picudo, los nemátodos y algo que nos afecta mucho ya al final del proceso, que es el tema de producción de corona y los reclamos que se presentan, hay veces, en el punto de final o en el punto de consumo, el cual lo tenemos que tener y de manera bien claro para evitar todos esos reclamos en calidad. Esta la puse porque hay plagas no presentes en la República Dominicana. El Fusarium nocisporum raza 4 no está en República Dominicana y los dos que siguen, el Moko y el virus como tal, están presentes, pero no son una pandemia, no son una enfermedad en la cual tengamos que controlarla actualmente, sino que tenemos que estar previniendo su aparición a gran escala. Por eso me atreví a poner el moco y el virus en plagas y enfermedades no presentes, aunque sí existe la posibilidad y su presencia. Lo que sí es, y es una actualización, es que el Fusarium nocisporum raza 4 no está en la República Dominicana. Antes de comenzar a hablar de cada una de las enfermedades y lo que hacemos nosotros en Vanelino, yo me traslado hace 20, 25 años cuando comenzamos el tema de producción orgánica de banano. Y estábamos aplicando todo este tipo de prácticas, todo este tipo de controles, no con la cantidad de opciones que se presenta ahora, pero eran básicamente lo mismo. Lo que sí era muy diferente era, primero, el grupo de investigadores, el grupo de científicos, no se había desbordado a ofrecernos toda la información que aparece actualmente sobre todos estos temas y todos estos manejos agroecológicos, biológicos, orgánicos de plagas y enfermedades. Y también no existía toda esa serie de análisis, tanto a nivel de laboratorio, tanto a nivel de cámaras satelitales o cámaras multiespectrales, que nos mostraban y nos explicaban una serie de cosas que lo hacíamos, bueno, muy pragmáticamente, sino que hablábamos con los productores, veíamos qué era lo que pasaba y pues lo aplicábamos. Ahora, y verdaderamente para nosotros que estamos en estos modelos agroecológicos, de estos modelos de producción orgánica, el beneficio que tenemos con todas estas tecnologías de identificación, con todas estas tecnologías nuevas de aplicación, con todas estas tecnologías nuevas que nos muestran por qué esta práctica o aquella beneficia o el suelo o a la plantación o al medio ambiente o al ser humano, es un recurso que estamos utilizando, los que estamos en agricultura orgánica, que verdaderamente nos da mucha satisfacción y por eso quiero felicitar a los que me predecieron, que son parte de estos científicos que están trabajando y desarrollando todo este tipo de modelos que facilitarán la utilización de estas prácticas en la agricultura. Básicamente, Sigatoka negra, el mismo modelo de preaviso biológico lo utilizamos. Hay que anotar que, como en todos los países, y me voy a referir a un término muy dominicano, se ha aplatanado algo, o sea que hay algunas, vamos a decir, pequeñas modificaciones, pero que no alteran el resultado final. El tema de la utilización de las estaciones meteorológicas in situ es muy importante para la República Dominicana porque es un país de multiclima que puede variar en 100 metros y esto debe ser tenido en cuenta cuando utilicemos prácticas de control. También el tema de las condiciones de la planta. Estos tres puntos lo que hace en Vanelino es crear una mesa de sigatoca, donde semanalmente la gente de operaciones y la gente de toma de datos se reúne para determinar cómo está la sigatoca y si es necesario hacer o no alguna aplicación y tomar la decisión de qué y cómo y con qué se va a hacer esta aplicación. El método de aplicación, aunque seguimos trabajando con los métodos de aplicación por abajo, el tema del avión está muy generalizado, aunque República Dominicana al ser, y en el caso de nuestra asociación, pequeños productores, verdaderamente los pilotos de avión son una maravilla por la forma como tienen que volar y lograr las aplicaciones, pero cada vez el uso de drones está más generalizado y en el caso de nosotros, yo, y es una posición particular, prefiero los drones pequeños para poder tener movilidad dentro de la parcela y tener movilidad por todas estas características que ustedes vieron de biodiversidad. Los sistemas inmunológicos y probióticos que puse de último es porque se ha estado trabajando mucho con las bacterias que son endófitas. Estas bacterias tienen la particularidad y en el caso de estas tres que salieron de un estudio que hace la doctora Iris Marcano de determinación de microorganismos benéficos relacionados con el cultivo de banano orgánico en la República Dominicana, donde aisló entre hongos y bacterias alrededor de unas 230 microorganismos benéficos. Seleccionamos estas tres, que es una pseudomona y dos bacillus, con características endófitas, que quiere decir que trabajan dentro de la planta, y se hizo una tesis de grado donde se determinó que si las condiciones climáticas no favorecen de manera óptima la enfermedad, estas mantienen por debajo de niveles de aplicación el ataque de cigatoca negra. Con eso hay que trabajar un poco más para ver los modelos de aplicación, si solamente se hacen al suelo, si no se hacen a nivel foliar, pero con esto les quiero decir que ya estamos trabajando esta agricultura que algunos hemos llamado agricultura probiótica, donde es trabajar a nivel de las plantas con microorganismos que trabajen dentro de ellas mismas, generando todos unos sistemas de protección contra las plagas o las enfermedades. El próximo plaga, este famoso ácaro dorado, que aunque estaba, que la Phyllococtuta musae, no se había convertido en plaga. Todo apunta a que el incremento de temperatura y el incremento de las temperaturas máximas en los cultivos de banano fomentaron el crecimiento del ácaro. Es muy importante y actualmente se hace un monitoreo del mismo porque al desconocerlo, lo que vemos es como se ve en la foto ya los resultados de 3, 4 semanas antes del ataque, que ya no hay forma de controlarlo. Entonces esto crea un sistema de monitoreo y se está probando un monitoreo conjuntamente cuando se monitorea sigatoca, porque esta plaga ataca la hoja bandera, la hoja de crecimiento, que es donde normalmente los monitores de sigatoca también están evaluando el ataque de la misma. Hay un preaviso climático porque si la temperatura se mantiene muy alta o sobrepasa los niveles de 35, 36 grados centígrados, con un tema fisiológico de la planta y el ataque del ácaro, el daño es todavía mortal. Esa planta que ustedes ven nos causó mucho miedo porque en un momento dado pues piensa uno que podría ser Fusarium, pero si ustedes se dan cuenta, el daño está en las hojas nuevas y no en las viejas, que es el ataque por Fusarium. Pero seguimos trabajando porque hay que evaluar los productos con autorización orgánica para aplicarlos y el tema de cómo aplicarlo. Las aplicaciones de dron, pero pues veo que estamos trabajando mucho y sobre todo en la presentación del doctor Peng, que el tema de boquillas, porque hay que buscar una boquilla que penetre mucho más que la simple de cobertura de Sigatoka. Voy a acelerar un poquito. Están los tris de la flor y están los tris de la mancha roja. Sigue el tema del monitoreo, siga el tema de cobertura de suelo con plantas de cobertura que generan toda una serie de microorganismos benéficos que ayudan a controlarlo, productos permitidos, enfunde temprano, modo de aplicación, inoculación del suelo para generar microorganismos que ataquen los estados pupales de los TRIP y, como le decía yo, fomento hospederos para enemigos naturales, cambiando todo el tema de que los hospederos son muy importantes porque generan toda una serie de enemigos naturales. Hay un complejo de bacterias que son pseudomonas, erwinias, que atacan la estructura del tallo, pero más están relacionados con un tema de estrés hídrico, ya que el banano en República Dominicana tiene la característica que está asociada a zonas secas, donde la pluviometría no pasa de los 500 milímetros por año. Está el tema del picudo. Este es bien interesante porque hemos trabajado mucho el tema de monitoreo del mismo. Al principio, cuando se colocan las plantas, hay unas poblaciones altísimas, pero están más asociadas a las plantaciones de plátano adjuntas y después la población. Por eso la recomendación es que evaluemos el pseudotallo a ver si el picudo está trabajando en las plantaciones de banano o las trampas lo que lo han traído es de las plantaciones de plátano. Todos estos suelos que hemos mejorado a través de la aplicación de bioinsumos genera un enemigo naturales de control que lo mantienen a raya. Lo mismo pasa de los nemátodos. Ya en Banalino lo que estamos evaluando son nemátodos de vida libre, más para evaluar la presencia de nemátodos benéficos. Normalmente Rhadophilus es el nemátodo más reportado como daño en banano. En el caso de República Dominicana, Rhadophilus se mantiene en poblaciones muy bajas y el que más nos molesta es el Curtilenchus. Pero verdaderamente las aplicaciones de nematicida se regulan con el monitoreo de ellos y la utilización de enemigos naturales, como el caso de Phacelomissus lilacinus, que existen en aplicaciones comerciales. El tema de pudrición, bueno, hay muchos hongos relacionados con ella y básicamente lo que hay que mejorar es la calidad del agua del empaque, los productos que estamos utilizando y el tema de la cadena de frío. Es muy importante esto de innovaciones para reducir el daño de plagas y enfermedades porque va a estar muy asociado a la inclusión de los jóvenes. Por eso el uso de aplicaciones, el uso de monitoreo satelital, ese dron que ese joven está manejando ahí, estos planos de aplicación, los planos de calidad del cultivo, hacen que los jóvenes se incluyan en este proceso. Suelos supresores, está todo ese tema nuevo que está trabajando y igual estamos haciendo toda la biota del suelo a través de análisis de ADN de los microorganismos y pues nos están llegando resultados donde hemos podido identificar 732 microorganismos benéficos viviendo en estos sistemas biodiversos con que contamos. El tema de los modelos agroecológicos enfocados a la biodiversidad es básicamente más de tres especies compartiendo el mismo tiempo y el mismo espacio. Todo el trabajo ahora de huella de captación de carbono, muy enfocado no a lo que emite, sino a lo que captamos. Y esto con el Foro Mundial Bananero y con Mateus que anda por ahí, estamos trabajando y hemos logrado que los modelos ya consideren seriamente la captación de carbono para que tengan una sumatoria, vamos a decir, positiva con el tema de captación. Uso racional del recurso hídrico, condiciones favorables y por ende la sostenibilidad económica. Y muy importante, y esto se consigue a través de mucha capacitación, es la bioseguridad, aprovechando nuestro sistema insular para protegernos de nuevas plagas y enfermedades. Hay un dicho en Dominicana y en toda parte que dice que no es lo mismo llamar al diablo que verlo llegar, y mientras nos mantengamos fuera de Fusarium y de las otras enfermedades, pues es muy importante para nosotros. Ya de mi parte con esto termino. Ahí está el correo y abiertos a compartir información y abiertos a recibir toda esta tecnología de monitoreo, de evaluación y de nuevas tecnologías que nos van a mostrar por qué nuestro modelo orgánico de producción es un modelo real, palpable y que genera fruta de calidad que todos los consumidores desean, manteniendo al pequeño productor y manteniendo el medio ambiente. Muchas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Gustavo, por compartir la perspectiva de Banelino y de su manejo orgánico, agroecológico, apoyado con las nuevas tecnologías del día de hoy, para monitorear, prevenir, contener plagas, capacitar también los pequeños productores que forman parte de Banelino y seguir adelante con un producto de calidad para los mercados importadores. Me gustaría ahora, I will switch back to English for our last but not least panelists. We will share his own presentation, Matt. Michael Salfaraj, Senior Scientist at the Alliance of Bioversity International and CATAS. His presentation will focus on artificial intelligence for early disease detection in banana. The screen is yours, Michael.
Okay, sorry for that. I think some problem. So here I would like to give an overview of the Tumaini app. It's all about Tumaini. Tumaini means hope. We all need a hope in our life. We want to give a brief introduction about the app, how we are supporting the current community. So next one, I want to skip this slide because, all our previous speaker, they well introduced the importance of banana. The one thing I would like to mention here is a key export commodity supporting economies in many tropical countries, especially for smallholder farmers. As a part of international agriculture research, we are mainly working for smallholder farmers in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. So you can see here the problem in bananas is a main issue is biotic stress, especially disease and insects. So you can see the banana is a complex. As a plant physiologist, I would say the disease is not only occurring in the leaf, it can occur in any part of the plant, right? It can be the entire plant, it can be a leaf. Sometimes plants looks very healthy, but if you cut the pseudostem, you find the problems. And fruits, cut fruits and stems, which is a root of the plant. So you have a complex problems here. So what is the problems in the disease identification? Because it is time consuming, tedious, expensive, often inefficient. So usually, the conventional way, the people will go and take the notes. It's very laborious. Imagine the banana farm. You have thousands of plants, lot of plants. This is very tedious, also is time consuming. So as a part of Alliance, we are designing the system level artificial intelligent powered disease alert system. One is Tumaini Air, which is proximal sensing. We are using satellite imaging and drone imaging to scavenge the crop to find the problems, maybe disease or physiological problems or banana health overall. Then we apply app which is very close to the plant, which is very high resolution. Here the resolution is matter. If you have a RGB image, you can look the plant very closely. You can observe the symptoms, but it is also slow. Go one by one. So that's why we are applying system level approach to go for the drone imaging and also app cell phone imaging. Okay, so it's a two level. One is Tumaini Air, another one is Tumaini Ground. So once we detect the problem and confirm the problem, we will go to the data mapping, which is we have our own website. So far we have 18 different institutions linked to this to report the confirmed disease. So here I would like to tell brief about AI. So AI is nothing magic, right? Sometimes people will think, AI is doing magic. For me as a scientist, AI is not magic. What you teach the machine, what you teach the model will perform, right? So the ground truth data and knowledge of farmers and stakeholders, which is very important for AI. It's not only a lab, you are developing the model, but we are learning from so many things from farmers and expert people like you, how you can train the AI model. So you can see here, how the human is understanding, the object, right? So here you can see the banana. So I am seeing the bananas. Next time I'm seeing banana and apple, I can differentiate. Oh, this is banana, this is apple, this is plantain, this is banana, So here all about training, how you are training the model in a real world, which is very important. So we are training 50,000 images around the world, especially for Latin America, Asia, and Africa. So thanks to the global partners, they are supporting us with the images to train the models. So here you can see convolutional neural network. This is inspired from brain, how the brain is processing neurons, our neurons is processing the image. So here we train 50,000 models. You can go on visit this paper. 2019 is mostly well written, and you can understand how we train the model. So one of the model right now we are using YOLO, which is a very new model to train the 50,000 images of pest and disease. Then we develop the model, then we deploy as an app, AI app. That is the whole idea of here, the AI model. So this is our app. So you can select the region and you can select the images from your phone, or you can directly take images from your field and it will detect the disease. So this case, Fusarium wilt or Xanthomonas. So far we have 7 different major disease around the world, and also different parts. It's not only a leaf. You can scan roots, you can scan pseudostem, you can send bananas, banana bunch and leaves, right? So once you detect and confirm, especially National Plant Protection Officers and scientists, they can share the GPS information to map this one as real field. So our app is open access, is free for everyone, and also the website also free. Just you need a username and login to map your things, and you can report the problems. So Tumaini AI app is a region based, because banana disease is also sometimes region. For example, Xanthomonas wilt is only present in Africa, right? So here in Latin America, we used to call this bacterial disease, which is Moko, is different. So we divided the models based on the region because some disease region specific, especially Africa. BBTV is mainly Africa and India. So we have region-based model in a different continent. So you have to choose, are you from which continent? You may be from Latin America. Just you have to choose the button for Latin America in the app. And also we have a different user profile because Tumaini accessed by scientists like me, NPPO officer and agriculture officer from India, and banana farmers. You may be a banana farmer. So we have a different profile. Sometimes banana farmers, they don't want to map or they don't want to report. That's up to them. But we are encouraging them to share the GPS points. That's one of the thing. If they want, they can share the GPS point where they are finding a disease. But we are collaborating. We have a huge network of NPPO officer in Latin America, Africa, and India. They can report to us the problem so that we can map into the website. So this is the website look like. So you can choose the disease from 2025 bunchy top this case. Then you can see how many data points per year by disease, right? So you are seeing right now bunchy top in India and Africa. So far we mapped 83K plants until 2025 and 18 countries. So this will be very useful for the government and policy makers and researchers, even a private company, to see where the disease hotspot is occurring. So this is the app growth. We did different prototype in earlier growth, but before 3 years, we officially released the app. Right now, we have more than 25K download all around the world. Mostly, India, 53% India, because thanks to Dr. Sivat from TNAU and also National Research Center for Banana, ICICR Institute, they are doing a great extension job around the farmers and stakeholders. This is one of the example how the extension work will impact on research. But we are right now we are doing a lot of extension work in Latin America to expand the app. But I'm inviting this forum. If anyone is interested from Philippines and other country, we are very happy to collaborate with you for the new disease, new pest. We are able to incorporate the new models in ongoing app. So this is the user demography. Usually, after every time we are updating the app with the new models, new disease, etc. So recently, the mid 2024 last year, we released our new app, based on the feedback from the farmers and different people. So after the new app, we have almost 900 users, new users for the website and mobile app. And also here the gender balance, you can see most of the users what we are register is male. Still we need a gender diversity. Still we are educate the women farmers to use AI technology. So next I'm going to talk about the Tumaini Air. So one is drone app. People can use it, but drone will be very useful for industry and government use. Okay, the app is very useful, but it's little slow. If you have a small field, of course, you're smallholder farmers. You have a small field, of course, you can detect the disease and report. But imagine you have a huge field, right? In Latin America, like Peru, Colombia, even India. Some farmers, some stakeholders, they have a huge field. That's why we are launching Tumaini Air. Tumaini Air is a drone-based platform. We have a multispectral imaging and RGB imaging and thermal imaging. Is based on your interest what you are doing. So mainly for the disease or health check, low cost drone is RGB imaging. So here you can see the RGB orthomosaics from one of the field is a large field. Here the drone, you are seeing the live drone imaging. So usually we will go very high resolution image to detect the problem. So here you can see a lot of Fusarium wilt the problem. So here the idea, this is the orthomosaics. Once we generate the orthomosaics, we can map each and every plants, and you can see the disease prevalence. So the yellow points are the sick plants in the field. So which is very important for the industry to calculate economic threshold level, right? Which is very important. And disease area infected. Even for scientists, we want to see how many percentage of infection. If we want to use the biological product, I'm seeing a lot of people using, Fusarium biological product and microbial product. So this drone imaging will be useful, how effective that biologicals, right? So we can do some treatments, control and treatment. So we can easily see the time series image, how this biological product, how the biostimulant is working for different diseases. So this is one of the close picture, high resolution picture from RGB image. So this is our model, how it's detecting the healthy and sick plants in the ecosystem. So our model, this is one of our YOLO model, is accurately detecting the healthy and sick plants. So here we are trying different type of models. In the end of the day, we need the winner models to go for the deployment. So here you can see the different models, how it's performing. So one of the best model here, YOLO version 8. This is one of the thing we are doing in the imaging side. And also, we are also trying for the video-based detection, right? It's not necessary to be the image, and also video-based detection. So you can see the left side, YOLO version 8, and also transformer model. You can see the performance of transformer models is almost detecting all the plants, right? And also you can see the blue box is a healthy one, and the green box is a sick plants. So, and also you can deploy this model is a real time to see the big fields. So what is the problem in overall in the field? That's the overall idea of the video-based model for this quick scavenging. And also the banana germination. So you can see the banana counting, banana health, even you can extract vegetation indices from each and every plant, right? So we are also developing models to count the plants and to take the initial health and also canopy cover, canopy volume. It is highly possible for the experiments, especially for the research experiments and industry research experiments. And also, we are also deploying real-time detection. For example, I'm going to Peru, right? So imagine you are sending the drone image from one side, then cloud and processing is taking a lot of time, right? So we are also developing the real-time detection locally deploy. Right now you have a Raspberry Pi, is a lot of chips is coming, quantum chip is coming. Imagine we are deploying this kind of promising models in the small computer or mini chip to run the model locally. You no need to go on process in the cloud. That is the whole idea. So my team, here you are seeing the real-time detection of the field here in Cali. Is locally running into the computer. So you no need to go for the cloud and everything. So just you have to locally run the model, and you can detect the disease, and you can calculate the area of infected, economic threshold level. And also this is very useful for drone spraying. It's not necessary to waste your product in the entire field, right? You can map where you are finding the problem. That way you can reduce the low input cost, right? You can reduce the chemicals to locally spray. You can also deploy this model in spraying drone. So spraying drone can trigger based on the model where you want to apply. Site-specific application is also possible. So right now, my team is also working on more GPS points, right? So we are also locally how you can precisely identify the GPS points in the huge ecosystem. So you can see the different GPS points. Even you can go by plant by plant, right? That is the whole idea. So this work in geolocation, identifying the precise geolocation of healthy and sick plants in progress. I would highly recommend you go and see the paper from Juan Mora. This is he was developing AI model before. So this paper will give a lot of lights to you guys how you can using AI in the huge field, especially the drone models and app. So this is our whole system. Right now we have the drone work, AI model and app model to integrate app and drone model. You can really bring the resilience to, especially for the huge banana farming system and also smallholder farmers. So I can give some example how we are working with other government project. This is one of the project funded by GIC Germany, Alata 4, led by Dr. Miguel Dita. So I would kindly acknowledge his, Miguel is very famous for Fusarium. So he was the leader. So especially my team, we focused on work package 2, how we can deploy the digital tool in Alerta project, right? So here we develop the model, we testing the model in the real field, is not only in the local, in Cali or Seattle. So we train the model and deploy in the partner side, especially for app and drone model. So we tested the app in Ecuador with the training. Also in Peru, we tested with the partners, especially drone and app side, and also Colombia. So this kind of project is really fantastic, and also is a part of learning. Is always models we are all developing in the computer, but it should be validated in the real field condition, and also partners' feedback, which is very important. Thanks to GIC, this kind of project, because we learn from the partners. This model is more theoretical, but my team is really enjoy the partnership with the local partners and farmers and stakeholders, how to develop practically deployed model, functional model, thanks to this Alerta T4 project. And also Bolivia. So we also did some training there. And also right now we are signing the new project with the banana program with TR4 with Peru, with Sensa Peru. So we are also planning to do how we can effectively use model, how to deploy the model in the real field condition. So thanks to communication also, this app is more advertised by different news channels, especially for New York Times and NVIDIA blog. They are promoting this app because we are from non-profit organization. We are not profit organization. So this kind of communication channel, which is very important for encouraging our work. And also special thanks to 18 different partners all around the world. Without their support, Tumaini is impossible. I would like to thank each and every partner here for their continuous support. And also this based on this banana success, right now we are collaborating with PABRA. This is the bean network. We launched recently Tumaini beans. So that is also a great news. Tumaini is really expanding, is not only for banana. Right now we are working for beans, and in future coffee and cocoa. That is the whole idea of this platform. Thanks to my team, entire team, this is impossible without, collaboration and intercommunication within the team. So Thank you so much. If you have any question, happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Dr. Salvaraj, for this very impressive, very interesting presentation about this AI-powered mobile app. But not just that, it goes beyond that. It's also integrating drone images, aerial images, UAV videos to improve the disease detection, make it accessible through collaboration frameworks, and to continue refining these models with stakeholders' feedback to have the best possible outcome for the industry. So thank you. We were supposed to have a final Q&A session, but sadly, we've been exceeding quite a bit already on the time that was supposed to be allocated for this webinar, and we've demanded interpretation to stretch a bit, but I believe we cannot ask more than what has already been asked. So in case the public has some questions that were not answered by the panelists, we warmly encourage them to contact the Secretariat of the World Banana Forum. Our official email address, maybe Mateus, you can write it in the chat box. Sorry, in the chat, yeah. It's wbf@fao.org, and we will subsequently circulate the questions to the panelists that you would like to reach. I want to thank all the panelists, all the experts that joined us today for this interesting event. I hope it was interesting for you as well to learn other innovative approaches for pest control and management and to foster potential collaboration for the future. I also want to thank the interpreter for the great work throughout this event, the team of the WBF Secretariat, Victor, Mateus, Valeria, for facilitating this event. And as Mateus mentioned in the chat as well, we will produce a summary report of this event in English and Spanish, as well as the recording. So you'll be able to go back to some of the content that you may have missed. The recording will also be uploaded on the FAO YouTube channel in the coming weeks. So in case you have any doubts, you can always refer back to the recording or the report.